How's it going, boys? Welcome back to Mogul Mail. Today, we have to talk about something already a few creators have talked about, the 100 Thieves versus Frosty situation. Because I wanted to throw my 2 cents in the ring here as a creator who has never been part of A, an esports org, or B, a management team. And you know why? Because they're all a bit weird, right? Think of the economics behind those things. They are kind of middlemen who want to initially maybe give you money on an esports org or get you deals on a management team in exchange for taking some value away and like maybe get their expertise, maybe get some production arms. But for almost every single management team or esports org I've talked to, it never made sense. I never got it. It never clicked in my head why this was valuable. I don't know why I would want to be NRG Ludwig when I'm just going to give more attention to NRG and I would make more money without NRG. I never understand why I would want to join a CAA of the world, one of the largest management groups, when I could maybe get my own deals with my friends who I think are pretty knowledgeable in the space versus just letting them take 20% because, I don't know, they signed Matt Damon too, and we can do crypto.com bold things together. Now, this has all kind of been some context in a lead up to a feud that happened between a guy named Frosty, who was a part of a content team called The Mob. They were super popular on Twitter. I remember all their tweets would pop off 10, 20K likes back in the day, and they were signed with 100 Thieves for a few short years until it fizzled out. Didn't really go too well. And I thought nothing of it. I was like, it just didn't work out. You know, sometimes things don't work out. Frosty thought otherwise. You guys probably all know 100 Thieves. He tweeted about them. Damn, I missed the Mob House. Imagine we had enough money to where we didn't have to stress over where our next meal is coming from. Could have done some big things, but I guess we'll never know. Harry says, imagine you put all the effort in when you had an org behind you, ... Frosty says, imagine we did, but we were so broke that we literally could not afford to do anything that was worth filming. And that started the drama that unfolded. This led to Nadeshot, founder, CEO of 100 Thieves, to go on stream and do a bit of a tell-all. And this was what he said, part of it.
And that is the God's honest truth, okay? So, $2,500 a month for each individual. They have to pay rent. They have to find the home. We help them find the home. They choose the $10,000 a month house, okay? We also had a $2,500 a month budget for them to use for life.
For content was the end of that. It was not a slur. Please don't demonetize me, Susan. Please don't demonetize. So he got about $60,000 a year. Every individual got $60,000 a year, which in LA, you can live off that. When I first lived in LA, I worked at Best Buy. I made $15 an hour, $12.50 actually, but that amounted to about $25K a year. You know, hey, cowgirls get it done. I will say a $10,000 home, that's absurd. That is crazy. That is foolish in a way. And I have to give some blame to 100 Thieves for allowing that to go through. I mean, you can very clearly see, okay, they're paying $120K a year in rent. There's 4 of them. They make $240K total. So they're going to lose like a quarter in taxes, maybe a little under. They're going to lose half in rent. That math doesn't add up. A $10,000 home is such a phenomenal waste of money. You can live in the valley for much less and then commute if you have to, which is what hundreds of thousands of people do. So I don't get that by any means. I don't know why that was allowed by anybody who was involved, but so be it. Nate Chuck continues.
They didn't work. They didn't make videos. They didn't stream. They got here, and we'll never know why it is that it panned out the way that it did. But if you really want to go look at stats, and you really want to look at the work that was done while we're bringing these deals in, while we're paying these salaries, and while we're supporting them as much as we can with the employees that we have, the resources that we've created for ourselves, and the platform that we have built along.
Okay, so basically, they didn't work out because the stats sucked. Let's look into that a little bit, because Frosty tweeted out live while it was happening that it's insane how much he's lying. So let's look at it. We can see this is Frosty specifically. He was signed, I believe, like 2018-ish all the way until like 2021 is what it was like. And if you look at the hours streamed, it's pretty low. You know, it's averaging about a couple bad months in there, 40 hours, which is very, very low. Now, 500 viewers is not a small amount. That puts you not in the top 1% of creators on Twitch. It puts you in the top like 0.01% of creators. It's enough to live off of. When I started going full time at 150 average viewers and had about like 400 to 500 subs, you know, which is about like $1,000 to $2,000 a month. That was enough. That was enough for me to pay rent, get food, get everything done. Mixing a few brand deals, I was living all right. So that should normally be enough. Now, 10K rent, that doesn't help. But also, what it feels like to me is they threw in 4 people who lived across the country all under one house and assumed it would just work out. But content creators are also people. And 19 to 20-year-olds, yeah, maybe they're adults when they turn 18. They're kids. They're a bit naive. They don't know exactly what to do when they live alone. They haven't dealt with that before. And so you can see what was happening. Okay, we're going to DoorDash every single meal, live in a 10K home. You know, it doesn't just all click together magically. There needs to be a bit of guidance there. I don't know if that has to be on the part of 100 Thieves. And one of the things that bothered me watching through Nadeshot's entire speech was how he talked about how he was giving them an opportunity, how he was taking a shot on them, which is fair to an extent, but they also get a lot of value, right? Like, you take a shot because you're hoping that they get big and you're paying someone $60K a year and you get a big part of their brand deals. And this is the one part that I need to throw shade on 100 Thieves on, because I think this is so predatory and terrible to do. So it was said by Frosty in his stream that or tell-all that 100 Thieves took 95% of all brand deals. Let's listen to Nadeshot talk about that. Listen to that number, 95% of all brand deals. Here's what Nadeshot said.
I have an email that the key terms of these deals that we bring to the mob, we would retain 85% of revenue.
That is so fucking predatory. 85% of a brand deal going to the person who just finds the deal is absurd. And surely there is a sales team that works on it, that maximizes the amount of brand deal. But the work of the brand deal, the stream, the tweet, the YouTube ad read, all of that is done by the creator. And to take 85%, 85, and have that in writing and knowingly allow 19, 20-year-olds to sign that, it's so fucked. Now, he does go on.
We did 3 deals for them, and all 2 out of the 3 deals, they took home 65% of the revenue from that deal.
So they ended up taking actually 35%. To even have it in writing and to be able to exercise the option of 85%, fucked. 35%, it's still fucked. Okay, so generally, if you don't know, it's kind of like tipping culture in the way that management teams and agencies have been taking percents. It started at 10%, and nowadays it's about 20. All right, so 20% of every brand deal generally goes to the people who find it and negotiated it. It varies. Sometimes it's a bit higher. Sometimes it's a bit lower. 35 is very high, very much so on the high end. If I talk to any streamer that I know and I'm like, hey, what if I give you a brand deal and I take 35% of it? They would laugh. They would laugh me out the room. It's absurd. It's still a little bit too high. It is still more reasonable than the 85 number. I cannot believe Nadeshot 100 Thieves that you were signing 85 deals. That's crazy. And to be like, it wasn't 95, it's 85, absurd to me. And there is some support to his points, by the way, from this person. I worked at an agency who hired the mob for that $200,000 deal. I can confirm Nadeshot's objective account of what went down. Source, I ran the campaign. Pretty good source right there. So, look, is 100 Thieves a absolute predatory company that just took apart the livelihoods of a creator and stopped them from growing? No. Did they do something absolutely fucked in the negotiations of it and probably should have had a bigger role in maybe overseeing these guys that they want to succeed as well and making sure they're not going through the shitters by not having them sign a $10,000 a month house? Maybe that's just because Nadeshot's a bit too rich, too jaded. What's going on there? 10K a month, you let that through? Maybe yes. But I will put most of the blame, in fact, almost all of it, on the individuals of the mob because they didn't work hard enough with the opportunity they were given. They had a chance. And this is how it works for almost every single streamer, YouTuber, creator, whatever you are. You have to start making things, right? That's how it starts. You make a video, maybe one pops off. You have an idea that works. You make more of the idea that works. You start growing. And then luck will strike down one day. Okay? It can be a video hitting the algorithm for 1 million views. It can be an esports org coming to you trying to ask you to join their team. Whatever it is, you need to be ready when that luck hits to seize the opportunity for the max amount of value. And that can be signing with an org and then exploding, like Valkyrie did when she went with 100 Thieves in YouTube. It can be like having a huge influx of viewers and milking it for every penny you can. Like Ninja, when he streamed with Drake in peak of Fortnite and he got the most subs and he got a mixer deal, he capitalized on that luck. And you have to do that when that luck strikes, and you have to be ready for that. And I just think they fell short. And I want to make one carve out here because I would feel dog if I did my boy Classified dirty. He did work hard. And I've seen this guy. Always hustling, always grinding, whether it's making some tweets with his girlfriend or going to Mr. Beast to do some videos. It does feel like he has worked hard, and he tweeted out, I just woke up. I don't do drama. I'm not going to say anything about all that. All I will say is even though I was picked up as part of a group, I worked my fucking ass off to stay at 100 Thieves after Mako left, one of the people in the mob. They wanted individual performance, and I put in nonstop hours on stream, pumped out videos, did solo projects, talent shows to prove I was worth it. I didn't care that I was small. My heart was invested, and he tried. And then eventually, even he was cut, and he says that he loves 100 Thieves and Frosty, and there's no hard feelings with him. So just want to give a shout out to Class. I think this is a simple case of not taking advantage of the opportunity you're given, and be wary. Be wary. Okay, because content creators are as vulnerable as stories you hear of sports players who sign contracts that are very predatory and that fuck them over. And even though they're seen in front of millions, they become poor after 10 years. That happens. That happens to esports players all the time. That happens to content creators all the time. Be wary. Send it to a lawyer. Do the due diligence because the esports teams will not do it for you. They don't care about you at all. All right? It's 100 Thieves, but I'm not your friend thumbnail. Anyway, thanks for watching, boys. That's all. See you later. Goodbye.